My name is Lucie Garnier. I'm French. I've been in London for 5 years now and at Pentagram for nearly 3 years. I immediately joined Marina's team. She was looking for a new project manager and I was becoming available, and we met in a cafe, not at all the usual meeting you can imagine, but we just met together, had a coffee and got on really well, and here I am, really happy. I've heard about Marina's work through her work for the Tate, her identity for the Tate, and her work for the Serpentine Galleries as well, because I quite like art and I always liked those two institutions, so I was very interested to know who's been behind them. And when I discovered it was Marina, it was a woman, I thought, I would love to work for a woman designer. And here she was at Pentagram looking for someone. I thought, I can't believe my luck. It is really lots of little studios working next to each other. So we look after our own finances. We need to look after our clients and make sure we invoice them, make sure they will pay us. But we have around our teams some help that we share. So communication is shared between all of us, the main role. So we have someone looking after new businesses. She is so important to our company, Leah. And we are sharing Leah between all of us. Same, we also have account department is shared between all of us. But the advantage is you're never alone. So if you need to work with a type of client you never worked before, you can always ask for some help around you. I think everyone say that, but it's true. It is really the best of both worlds. And then you win the job, and then you work with them until the end, and you're making sure the project is completely finished. We work depending on the client. So a client will come to one partner in particular because he wants or she wants to work with this partner, or it's more like a client comes to Pentagram in general and we find whose partner is more likely to work with this person because of partner's experience or because partner's availability. And so then the project manager of this partner will be in charge of the project, will be more client-facing, because I think it's nicer for a client to talk to one person rather than having to suddenly speak to 5 different persons, depending on which part of the project they want to talk to. And then we meet. We always work with the partner, so because Pentagram has this advantage of being a smaller company, a partner is involved in the project from the beginning to the end. So a client will always meet the partner at every single stages of the project. You can always call the partner. It's not, you meet a director of a company and then it's like a team of junior designers doing the work and the director you met is never involved anymore. No, the partner at Pentagram, so Marina, will always be there and involved from the beginning. I think the most challenging project we had recently in Marina's team is a film that we are making. So last year, since few years, Marina had in mind this personal project of making a film about her family and her father called Red Trees. And last year, we created this crowdfunding campaign to be able to fund this short film. So all of us in the team had to rethink completely our role and what we were doing, because we never worked in the film industry and we never also had a crowdfunding campaign. So how do you start Kickstarter? How does Kickstarter work? How do we do to fund money and be actually able to finance this project? And how it is to be our own clients, because then we're talking to ourselves thinking, can we do this? Is this good? So that was extremely challenging, but really, really amazing experience. I think in a smaller studio, you need to be really aware of the financial side of your studio to plan ahead. You can't, when you work for a smaller studio, just think of your day-to-day. Oh, today we have 5 clients, it's wonderful. What's going to happen in a few months? Do you have another client coming up? And I think that's the difficulty when you work for a smaller studio. You need to think of the clients you have today, but you also keep thinking of new business.